day. 81 groceries, living 21 miles away.
Good morning, folks. This is January 3rd, 2026. Say that again, 2026. Let's see what we do today. Just got done having a coffee and ready to rock and roll. Pick up these quite more than I like to admit. Sometimes I get petty and jealous, and when I see condoms, I might just make the couple wait for a little bit, take a little extra time. So yeah, when I accepted this order, it said 14 miles. When I got done shopping, it says 16 miles. Good job. Just throw a couple extra miles on me there. No problem. I can afford it. Yay. I'll be back in a little bit, folks. So we just got done dropping off that order, and I just wanted to remind folks that the Doordash Chronicles is not about, hey, you can make $400 in one day. This is how. I'm not selling you a product. What I am is I'm a DoorDasher that's been doing this since 2022. I have over 16,000 deliveries, 4,000 shops. All right. I have real world experience, and the one thing that I notice when you go to these channels and you can do this and you can do that, they all have great advice, especially for whatever market they're in or vice versa. I'm not telling you that their advice is wrong, but what I am stating is, like, when you watch these videos, where is the lived in experience? Where is the wear and tear on the face? Where is the fact, hey, I gotta go use the restroom, and there's nowhere to stop? Where is that stuff? And that's what the Doordash Chronicles is about. It's a real live journal, a real live vlog about how the life is. All right? Well, I'm done lecturing, and I'm going to get off my damn soapbox here, and we'll talk here in a little bit. So, I got asked in the comments, is it realistic to net $60,000 a year doing this? Here's the thing. First of all, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm the worst when it comes to finances. All right. Second of all, variables. You have to understand variables. I'm going to tell you my thought process. It might be different than yours or any other viewer watching this short. All right. So, what kind of car do you drive? Do you have a personal life? Do you have other responsibilities? How healthy are you? How young are you? What's your market like? Variables, okay? Now, my experience, all right? Let's say you shoot for $200 every day for 365 days. That's a hard haul. That's a very, very hard haul. But let's say you shoot for it. All right, that's $72,000. Taxes, anywhere between, depending on your tax bracket and your information, most people look at the high teens or low 20s percentage-wise. All right, make sure that you have an app that will track your miles, and you can deduct that off your taxes. All right, so let's clear that out. Gas. Let's say you run a 4-cylinder and it costs you $30 a day, and you can fill up maybe 2 or 3 times a week. So now you're looking at $100. That's $5,200 off of that $72,000 we discussed. Now, what I would say to my commenter and anybody else out there that wants to set a specific goal for the year, I would aim for anywhere between a realistic goal of 40,000 to maybe 50K. And that is if you're working every day, as many possible hours as you can. There's many tricks to the trade to maximize your profit. For instance,
More at the end of the night is not always the best solution. Let's say you're at 180, okay, and you need $20 to get 200, but in order to get that $20, you have to fill up your tank. So why would you go for the extra $20? Stop where you're at, call it a night. Anyways, see ya. Other DoorDashers out there, drop a comment and tell me, like, what is the weirdest combination of orders that you get, or the weirdest split. Like yesterday, I went to Burger King to grab an order, and I noticed it was just fries. Well, while I was in there, the lady was grabbing her sandwich, so it was obviously an order tacked on after the order, so DoorDash split it between two drivers, but like literally, one dasher got the sandwich and I got the fries. See that all the time. Pull up in somebody's yard, 2 or 3 dashers arrive at the same time. So we're up to Winn-Dixie now, and that reminds me, I have a subscriber wondering if I'm going to put out any more food-based debate content coming out from, she works here actually, so I think I'm going to cut a food short today, just play around and bring that back into the mix. Why not? Man, I switched from Mountain Dew to water for health reasons, and I tell you what, I'm a non-stop peeing machine. Good Lord. Yep. Up in the breakfast station, standing in one position, can't get a late mark. Watch that score drop. Just got done dropping off the Dunkin' in a breakfast station, and sure enough, waiting for an order, got hit with a late mark. After I was just able to clear one today. Gotta love DoorDash. Whatever. Moving on. Well, I'm back at Winn-Dixie. Caught a dang $27 order for only 3 miles. That's absolutely gold, folks. So, I just woke up from a nap and ready to keep on rocking and rolling. Let's see what we can get to. I've already made about 60 so far, so time to finish this bad boy up. And now we're starting off with $9 plus. Let's see what it ends up being. I'll be back to let you know what the final total on that order is. So that ended up being $9.85. Not bad at all. All right, waiting on another Papa John's order. Rocking up them lates as much as possible. So yeah, probably another late mark, and this is all coming from one place. And you would think that DoorDash would pick up and say, "Hey, this place has a problem with late, so all our drivers are late at this one particular location." Nope, DoorDash does not figure that out. They say you can call and they'll knock off lates manually for you. I tried that. It has never worked for me. So, no problem. Not going to stress over it. What I am going to do is I'm going to move further up on my parking location and see if I can avoid that place altogether, unless the order is worth the late mark. Because my score is dropping too rapidly for my taste, waiting on their order. And the thing about it is, the previous management had turned it around and set the pickup as manual. So they would get their stuff ready and then they would signal the driver. New management came in and flipped it back around to automatic, so it automatically sends for the driver first. So now you're stuck at waiting at this establishment for the order to be ready and getting hit with a late fee or a late point. All right, so I moved to a different parking lot. Hopefully I won't be getting orders from there too often. Now I have to change my strategy since they're going to be, issuing lates from there, and only accept orders from there if it's worth the late. That's another thing you can do. If you got a high enough acceptance rate and you're comfortable, but an order is like what I like to call red zone or dangerous. In other words, they're known for you waiting. Nobody says you have to take that order. Take the order if it's worth it only. If it's not worth it to you, don't take it. Simple as that. So, moving on. And let's see if it works or if I still get orders from there. Hopefully, I don't get too many orders from there and I can, filter them.
I just caught a Target and Glory Days. They're right next to each other. These are gold because if you're shopping, they give you up to 100 minutes to finish the shop. So the Glory Days can't be late. So on that Target run with the Glory Days, in the middle of it, I got a $7.75 order also. So I ended up having a $30 run. Now, I love these little things where you gain momentum and you're doing a couple orders and a couple more orders come in while you're doing the orders. And the most I've ever seen happen like that, I had one run about a week ago with 5 consecutive orders non-stop. Meaning I didn't just drop off and then I got another order. Meaning while I was in the process of doing other orders, more came in and it ended up being 5 and it was like $80 in an hour and a half. Sometimes that can happen for you. It's not always guaranteed. Man, I'm telling you guys, DoorDash is such a crapshoot. You don't know, okay? That's why, when you watch these YouTubers and, do this and do that, you don't know. Here's the absolute truth about DoorDash. You are a number inside a big bowl. Think lottery. You are a number. The better your ratings are, technically, before I say this and sound like I know what I'm talking about, but the theory is the better your number ratings are, the more balls you have in that bowl, the more likely you're going to be picked, theory wise. I want to make sure I say theory because I know somebody will snap back in the comment and go, no, you're telling everybody the wrong information, don't be taking bullshit. I'm not telling anybody to take bullshit. I'm telling you from my experience, the better your ratings, the more chances you have of you being picked. Well, folks, that just ended up my night. I caught my goal. I can tell you that in the last 3 days, I've only spent $45 in gas and made quite a bit of money on that. So, not really bad at all. I just want to touch base on a couple things and then I'll say goodnight. So today we talked about lates. I got hit with quite a few lates today, mostly just waiting around for the order. The app did not ever send me the message, we got your back today, and that's part of DoorDash's app inconsistency. You think, oh, okay, this is cool, this is what they're going to do, and then the next day they're not doing it. It makes no sense. It's just part of being a DoorDasher. It's part of the life. So what I want to just touch base on, I just want to remind folks out there, if you're having a problem with a place that's constantly late, park away from that place. Try to move away from that order. And then if you get an order from there, make sure that it's worth it. Ask yourself, is $7 worth getting a late fee for? If you got the acceptance rate, and if you're trying to stay above and you're right there, you have to take the crapshoot and take it. It just happens. It's part of this world that we live in as dashers. And remember, guys, I am not a guru. I am not telling you how to DoorDash. The ultimate way to DoorDash and be comfortable and make a profit, it's up to you. You have to create your own system. All right, you have to decide. These people out here that are in big markets telling you to decline, all these orders and that you can still make money at 20%. Well, maybe it does work for them. But where are they door dashing? You get what I'm saying? All right. I'll tell you the best thing. If the most profitable way you can be a DoorDasher, if you can do it by foot. If you're in an area where you can use a scooter or you can do it by foot and you can walk orders back and forth, then you can make some serious cheddar because you're not using a car. Other than that, you're going to have to use your own strategy. That's all there is to it. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Doordash Chronicles, and I'll see you next time. Peace.